Okay, look. There goes one right there, right now. Right there. Right there. Flock cameras. I want to talk to you today about flock cameras. There are more and more popping up everywhere you look. And you're seeing more and more news stories about how people don't like them, people don't want them, what people are doing about them in some cases. And just more and more I ride around, everywhere I look, they're here, they're right here around me. I have flock cameras pointing into and out of my neighborhood, both entrances, all the time. I can't go anywhere without them knowing where I'm going, or if I'm going. I didn't ask for them, did you? And they'll always frame everything in the name of safety. You want to do this privacy invading thing in the name of your safety. I've seen stories about tickets being issued wrongly, or people being pursued wrongly because of incorrect flock identification. And there are more and more news stories about authorities, police officers, people who are supposed to be in charge of our safety, misusing their access to these devices. So why do I bring these up? Well, I bring these up because with everything going on with AI and flock cameras and our privacy and our safety, reminds me of a book that I read. The book is called 1984. It's by George Orwell. It's a cautionary tale about government overreach, what happens and what can happen when the government is in control of everything you do and see and hear and think and talk about and do. So it was written in 1949 about the year 1984. Well, a few things happened in the actual year 1984. There was another cautionary tale about AI and robots that came out around that time. It was pretty popular. I myself was approximately released in 1984. I say all that because even in the late 90s, and when I was in high school, it was required reading, the book 1984. Because back then, the people in charge of our education understood the dangers of what could happen and wanted to be sure that everybody coming through saying they had basic education had read this story. I don't believe they require them to read it anymore. But I bring it up to say I read the book, and I remember, it was a really good book. Of course, I had to read it as required reading for high school. So at the time, it was more of a chore. But I went back a few years, some years later. I went back and I read it as an adult on my own. Of my own idea. And going back and reading it, so those years later felt like, whoa, this is, it sounds kind of scary. I mean, this could even really happen. This could even already, we could already be on the road to this happening. And this was me reading this and thinking this to myself, back in the 2010s. I think about it now and it's like, dang, it almost doesn't feel like fiction anymore. So I bring this book up and I say I feel everybody should read this book. It's a cautionary tale of what can happen if you trade your liberties in the name of safety. What could possibly happen if you let the government do all of your thinking and choosing. And I understand it's tough to ask people to read things these days. Hey, you're asking us to read a book? Have you heard about the literacy problem? Well, you can get it. You can buy the book. You can buy it. You can get it on ebook. You could get it, I'm sure, on audiobook. You could just listen to the story. It's not a very long book. It's about 300 pages. And if you just can't get down with books and stories and ebooks, well, there was a pretty decent movie adaptation of it that also came out in 1984. Go figure. But that means it's it's an old movie, and it kind of looks like it, but it's still pretty good film adaptation of the book. So yeah, if you're concerned about where flock cameras are in your area and how many there are, you can go to a website and see how many there are and where they are and which direction they're pointing in your area. And if you're concerned, if anybody, has been misusing your information or searching for your tags in the flock system, there's another website you can go to. See if you've been being checked up on. And you should read the book 1984. Or hear the audiobook, or watch the movie, or anything. Everybody should at least, I really think everybody should be able to read. We need to solve this literacy problem for sure. That's what I had on my mind this morning. It's kind of early on a Sunday. It's 9 a.m. I guess it's almost church time. Traffic is, traffic.